World War III would not begin in a single dramatic moment. There would be no instant switch from peace to global war. Instead, it would develop through stages, political, military, and economic, that unfold over time. In this video will explain why a global war would build gradually, and what warning signs would likely appear first, especially from a United States perspective. Many people imagine world wars starting with a surprise attack that instantly pulls in every major power. History shows something very different. Large-scale wars usually grow from rising tensions, hardening positions, and a series of decisions that make backing down more difficult. Before any global conflict, there is almost always a long period of pressure. Diplomatic language becomes more hostile. Leaders give stronger warnings. Military exercises increase in scale and frequency. These steps are signals, not of inevitable war, but of rising risk. One of the earliest signs of serious escalation is diplomatic breakdown. Countries begin recalling ambassadors, suspending talks, or ending cooperation agreements. Communication does not stop completely, but it becomes more rigid and less flexible. This reduces the ability to quickly resolve misunderstandings. At the same time, military readiness starts to change. You may see troop movements, equipment repositioning, and increased patrols. These actions are often described as defensive, and in many cases they are, but when both sides increase readiness at the same time, each side can view the other's actions as preparation for aggression. For the United States, this phase would involve coordination with allies. Joint military exercises could increase. Naval and air forces might operate more frequently in strategic areas. These are deterrence measures, meant to signal commitment and prevent miscalculation. Another early stage of escalation is economic pressure. Sanctions, trade restrictions, and financial measures often intensify before any direct fighting between major powers. These tools are used to influence behavior without crossing into open war. However, economic pressure can also deepen hostility and reduce trust. Information and cyber operations also tend to increase during periods of rising tension. Countries may accuse each other of interference, cyber attacks, or influence campaigns. While these actions do not always lead to war, they contribute to an atmosphere of confrontation. A key point is that leaders are usually trying to avoid full-scale war, even while preparing for the possibility. This creates a paradox. Military forces become more ready in order to prevent conflict, but that readiness can be misinterpreted by others. As tensions build, crises become more dangerous. An incident that might have been manageable in a calm environment becomes harder to control when distrust is high. A close military encounter, an accident, or a misread signal can suddenly feel like a test of resolve. From the U.S. perspective, decision-makers would face difficult choices during this period. They would weigh alliance commitments, national security interests, and the risks of escalation. These decisions rarely happen overnight. They unfold through consultations, intelligence assessments, and coordination with partners. Public messaging would also shift. Leaders might speak more frequently about national security, preparedness, and international stability. This does not mean war is certain, but it reflects a recognition of increased risk. It is important to understand that even at high levels of tension, multiple off-ramps usually exist. Diplomacy, back-channel communication, and third-party mediation can reduce pressure. History shows that many crises stop short of major war because leaders choose restraint. World War III, if it were ever to occur, would likely be the result of escalation chains that fail to break. Each step might seem limited or temporary, but together they narrow options and increase the cost of backing down. This is why analysts often focused on trends rather than single events. A single incident rarely causes a world war by itself. It is the combination of strained diplomacy, military readiness, economic confrontation, and mutual fear that creates real danger. For the United States and its allies, the goal of these preparations is deterrence, to make potential conflict look so costly that no one chooses it. Deterrence is not about seeking war. It is about preventing it through strength and clarity. The main takeaway is this: global wars do not appear out of nowhere. They are preceded by visible shifts in politics, military posture, and international relationships. Understanding these stages helps us see that prevention is possible at many points along the way. If you want calm, clear explanations of global risks and how major conflicts develop, consider subscribing. Staying informed is one of the best ways to understand a complex and changing world.